I can remember when Microsoft was first very much interested in buying Activision. It was kind of an exciting thing. I mean, we weren't real sure what to kind of make of it, what would happen. I think for me, the main kind of goal that I had, or thought process that I actually had, was, Microsoft was going to be able to fund Xbox and fund Xbox exclusives and things like that through having Activision, right? Like, that's, I guess, my naive kind of thought process to that entire situation, right? I was like, Call of Duty makes so much money that, it's not going to make sense for them to make that exclusive. And I was right. Like, you don't want to do that, because the industry as a whole is very important. It's very much kind of an ebb and flow, yin and yang type of situation, and you don't want that to change. Like, you need that Call of Duty game there pretty much every year, selling boatloads and doing really well. So it was really kind of bad when they have a bad year, and the entire industry kind of feels that. So this is going to help, I think, Xbox in the long run, just Xbox itself, hopefully be able to kind of keep them afloat and keep them being able to continue to make games and things like that, and make consoles. So hopefully, anyway, well, it'll be interesting to see how you guys feel about it, but let me know. Let's get started. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel. It means a lot to me personally. It really does. I do daily gaming content, if you didn't know. If you guys enjoy that, I try to be funny and informative and things like that. So if you guys are having fun, let me know. Thank you. With that being said, Microsoft confirmed that the development process will not change under Microsoft, that they have 15 studios working on the franchise. Now, whether you like that or not, if you're not a Call of Duty fan, you're probably not going to like that. But even if you're not a Call of Duty fan, it's very important that this franchise continues on an annual kind of basis for many reasons. It's just good for the industry. So obviously, when Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, many fans wondered if Microsoft would change Call of Duty's development process. However, Activision has confirmed that the game's development structure will remain unchanged despite Microsoft's ownership. Speaking through an interview, Matt Cox, who is the senior vice president and general manager of Call of Duty at Activision, assured fans that the established system will remain the same, and I quote, "When you look at Treyarch and Raven, lead studios on Black Ops 6, they have a history of working together within Black Ops franchise going all the way back to 2010. You have this history with people you work with, and that ultimately shows when it comes to the finished product from a publishing and go-to-market standpoint." He explained that despite the new ownership structure, Call of Duty manages a production system involving 15 different studios to develop each installment in the franchise. Furthermore, they reported that the Call of Duty series has now sold over 500 million copies, making it the second best-selling video game franchise to date, while Nintendo's Super Mario franchise remains far ahead. Call of Duty has now surpassed iconic titles like Tetris, Pokemon, and Grand Theft Auto 5. The latest release of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has already become, quote-unquote, the biggest Call of Duty launch ever, breaking records across platforms, and the game saw a 60% year-over-year increase in unit sales on PlayStation and Steam, and a concurrent record-breaking 300,000 people on Steam, the highest since Warzone. Additionally, Black Ops 6 marked a massive milestone for Game Pass, supposedly setting a record for first-day players and new subscribers. According to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard also contributed to Xbox's 61% increase in revenue for the first quarter, showcasing the financial impact of Microsoft's big deal with Activision. So yeah, I mean, like, listen, Xbox is never going to be the same like what it used to be, or whatever the case may be. But with that being said, when you look at this and you look at how successful Call of Duty is and how successful it has been for Microsoft, you kind of realize that it's super important kind of all the way around for this game to be there. And furthermore, when you look at kind of Activision and you say, okay, well, it's really set all these records for engagement and things like that. Activision actually came out and said that the game has attracted more players during its launch than any other Call of Duty title. So that's good. I am a little bit more skeptical on that side, where I say, okay, so it has, all these players and things like that, which is great, but does that translate to more money? I think that's the thing that a lot of people would kind of question. I think that it's doing well. In particular, it's important that this game does well on PlayStation and PC because Microsoft is putting it on their subscription service, and that's obviously going to cannibalize some sales and things like that. So when you look at it, it also ranks first for total number of hours played and the most matches played according to Activision. The latest entry in this series was released on October 25th, and they've commented that it's done really well. Biggest Call of Duty release, and unit sales on PlayStation and Steam were also up 60% year over year, which speaks to the strategy of meeting gamers where they are by enabling them to play more games across the screens they spend their time on. Matt Piscatella, executive director of video game and research at Circana, which used to be the NPD, said in mid-November that Black Ops 6 Game Pass release has had an unprecedented impact on player engagement, saying player engagement following the release of Black Ops 6 can only be defined by the term bonkers. We've yet to see anything like it in our engagement tracking data. Last week he said Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to Game Pass did a few things in the US. It resulted in subscription spending boosts, shifted a share of full game sales to PlayStation, did not appear to result in massive cannibalization of sales, and did not appear to provide significant boost to Xbox hardware. So the open questions regarding the impact of subscriptions are still pretty open, and whatever one believes currently, well, not sure the biggest of test is changing anyone's mind either way. So obviously Black Ops 6 has helped drive a 12.4% rise in game sales across Europe. Sales of Call of Duty were 5% higher than last year's disappointing Modern Warfare 3 launch, but down 28% compared with 2022's Modern Warfare 2. So anyway, so this is the interesting thing, right? Because they're all like, it's this much. It's like, so it is 5% higher than Modern Warfare 3, but Modern Warfare 3 was basically DLC, down 28% compared to 2022. And Modern Warfare 2 is a huge number because, like I said, Modern Warfare 2 sold $1 billion in product within the first launch area or whatever that is. Sales on PlayStation versions of the game were up 26%, and 2% higher. They actually 2% higher than they were for Modern Warfare 2. So I mean, that's good. I think people really enjoy the Black Ops series. I think it's a really good area to be in if you're Microsoft, because this is going to make you games and things like that. But again, and I've stated this multiple times, it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to to realistically go out there and go, hey, let's pull these games off of PlayStation or whatever. And it never did, but like, to my credit, I always think this. I think that stuff like Call of Duty should be funding Xbox exclusives at this point, and that's just the God's honest truth of where I think about these things. I would love to see how there is like some kind of thing where hey, this is going to happen or this is going to happen. Honestly, it just really feels like Microsoft kind of drops the ball a lot of the time with some of this stuff, and at the end of the day, that's kind of what matters. You know what I mean? It's like what people think about these things, how they feel about it. But I would like to see Microsoft be able to kind of go out there and get something going that gets people excited, and like I said, maybe Call of Duty is something that can do that. Traditionally it does very well, and we do need it. Like, you might not be a Call of Duty fan, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but you have to realize how important it is to have something out there that is going to push the industry and do well for the industry year in, year out, because there is so little that does that, and that's bad, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a evil, you could look at it as an evil thing, but maybe possibly a necessary evil, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens long term with that, but that could be something that that actually pushes gamers into Xbox a little bit, you know what I mean? If they have like this kind of reliability, because there's always like this uncertainty with certain brands, like what's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see what happens in the future with that. So I think as long as Call of Duty is doing well, that Xbox should continue to do well, and maybe you guys agree with that. I would hope so anyway. It's important. I realize this isn't like the end all be all or whatever, but I think in this instance, PlayStation gamers that are buying the game are actually helping sustain Xbox. So, in that way, it is kind of a little bit of a smack, to Sony, just a bit. Anyway, so with that being said, let me know what you guys think. I certainly appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you guys like, share, subscribe as well. That would definitely mean a lot to me. Hope you guys have a great day. Have you played Black Ops 6 yet? Let me know how you think it is in the comments, or rack them up. Crap Gamer out.